Let's see. Alright, we're good to go. Hello everyone, Rudy here. We're gonna be playing Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Path. This is part 8, and we're, I believe, nearing the end of the 4th case. So we're gonna be playing the 4th case in this video, and we're gonna be starting the final one after this. Order in the court. Prosecutor Wong, your report, please. I have bad news. We've searched every inch of the Grand Tower, but the auction gavel was nowhere to be found. That is most unfortunate. It seems I am left with no choice but to pronounce a verdict. Well, it sure seems that way, you know. Normally, you wouldn't commit a blunder like leaving behind the murder weapon, you know. The best criminals would never do something like that, you see. Oh, so you're like... You're likening yourself to... the best criminals, I guess. I don't have enough information. Is this as far as I can go? Yes, it's a shame, you know, but it can't be helped, you see. This takes me back. You know all those defendants who came to me asking for a plea bargain? They trusted me, you know, told me every one of their dirty little secrets, you see? And when it came time for the trial, I'd get them sentenced to life in prison. They were all completely dumbstruck, you know? Each and every one of them. Oh, how I wish you all could have seen it, you know? The stupid look on their faces. I shall hereby announce my verdict. Please humbly accept the words of the law. There's nothing more I can do. With this, both Kay and I are... Nah, it can't be over like this. If only we had some evidence. I never thought that I would be passing judgment on you like this. Is this the end? The defendant, Blaze the Best. I hereby indict you. What? What? Oh? What's gotten into you all of a sudden? I have here documents regarding a certain case, the IS-7 incident, a case that happened 18 years ago. Documents, you say? Why would you suddenly... Wait, you don't mean... So does that mean that it was really her then? Who visited at 10:15 p.m. On the day of the crime, the record of your key card being used was because I came to this room to fetch these documents, of course. Although, when I entered the meeting room, it seems it was before the black market auction had begun. At first, I told you that I came to gather documents about you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. At that time, I simply could not tell you the truth. Oh, you little liar. IS-7 incident documents jotted down in my organizer. What are you doing, Justine? Why are you indicting Pops? Without any basis. This is slander. That was a wonderful remark, Sebastian. Huh? Really? Of course there is a basis. During the case 18 years ago, Prosecutor Manfred von Kamma fabricated information regarding the body. That was because the body of the sculptor Isaac Dover had been stolen. Papa fabricated information about the body? What do you mean? Aha! Truth is hard to accept, isn't it? Detective Lacer, who handled the initial investigation, reported that the body had gone missing. However, in order to deceive Prosecutor von Kamma, there was a person who purposely did not report to him that the body had disappeared. What? What did you say? The person would not forgive those who defied him, nor would he allow others to hold power. He would use any means necessary in order to bend others to his will. And then, also 18 years ago, Director Young was ordered by a certain individual to write the fake autopsy report. Dr. Young was the one who wrote the autopsy report for the IS-7 incident? Please wait, Granny didn't do anything wrong. She was ordered by that person. She had no choice but to obey. That person? That person was the chief, yeah, right. We knew. Chief Prosecutor 18 years ago. You don't mean... Chief Prosecutor who gave Papa his first penalty. It was none other than you, Blaze the Best. What are they saying? Pops would never do something like that. Sebastian, we do not need your opinion right now. Blaze the Best, do you have a rebuttal? Fabricating stuff about the body of Von Karma did all that on his own, you know? Falsifying the autopsy report, young. You would actually do something like that. Man, you really did some terrible things behind my back, you know? Seeing as how all the parties concerned here are here today, we should ask them directly. Please wait, Granny is... ouch! Granny, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why... Yep, because if I didn't... He said it would expose you. If I didn't assist in the crime, Granny would be prosecuted. That's what that man, the conductor, told me. So Miss Jensen was being threatened. Was the conductor who threatened you Blaze the Best? That... I don't know. The person who threatened me was the auction conductor. They do have similar physiques, but I never saw the person's face. Any trivial thing is fine. Give us a characteristic that could be a clue. Well, if he ends all of his sentences with "you know and you see," that would be a pretty good clue, I guess. The conductor's mask, it exposed just a tiny part of his face. There was a tattoo there, I'm sure of it. Conductor's clothes data updated in my organizer. The conductor wore a white jacket with purple flower, white gloves and a mask. Has a facial too. A tattoo, you say? Objection. I already have no idea what you're talking about, you know? As you can see, there are clearly no tattoos on my face, you see? So that person doesn't match me at all, you know? The person who threatened her, this so-called conductor. I wonder who it is, you know? You have incurred the wrath of the goddess of law. I suggest you watch what you say. Has he incurred your own wrath rather than the wrath of the goddess? Jill Crane had been pursuing you, just as I have. So yeah, my suspicions yesterday were founded, it seems. She was after him all along. She was just pretending to be after me, but it was to try to corner him, I suppose, and I will not let her death be in vain. Crane was, you know, you say she was pursuing me? My, I didn't really know her that well, you know? I don't mind girls chasing after me, you know, but I don't recall her ever falling for me, you see? That's not what she meant. You didn't know the victim well? That is a testimony we haven't heard up until now. Before the eyes of the goddess of law, you shall give us an official testimony. I see. Everyone's bullying me. If you're gonna go that far, that's fine, you see. I just have to make you disappear, you know? I know, he's not gonna have it here. Every last one of you. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall cooperate with you as well. If we let this opportunity slip by, I doubt we will ever get him to stand in court again. Please, do not let this chance go to waste. Yes. I promise I will live up to your expectations. Now then, Blaze the Best, you shall testify regarding the victim. Regarding Jill Crane. The victim, Jill Crane, was a member of the Prosecutorial Investigation Committee, you see? Okay, so she was a member of the PIC. Personally, I didn't really know her that well, you know? Despite the fact that she was on the PIC of which you were a president. Either way, it's not like I had a motive to murder her, you know? I have no idea why she was pursuing me, you see? She had her doubts about you. You intend to deny your guilt until the bitter end, don't you? Of course he does. There's no way Pops could be the criminal. I mean, he's my Pops, you know? He's the very best, like no one ever was. Tell me that this is not a reference to the lyrics of the first Pokemon series put in there by the fans. Come on, I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. Come on, it's a reference to Pokemon right there. Hello again today, Senpai Trash. Welcome back. How's it going? I guess some of the people who translated this were Pokemon fans. Probably. Yes, Sebastian, if you're gonna stick up for me, be sure to have a clear basis, you know? Alright, I got it. I'll clear you of these false accusations, Pops. I believe in you, Pops. We won't lose to someone like Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, you really are pure, you know? That person, he really loves his father, doesn't he? However, one must be able to accept the mistakes of their father. Oh, Francisca. No matter how much they may look up to him. You know a thing or two about that. Each person must atone for their crimes, no matter who they are. This is going to be hard for Sebastian, but I simply cannot overlook his father's crimes. Actually, I was talking about, with my bro yesterday about that character, and he told me that all the badges on his jacket are all the badges that he took away from all the prosecutors that he sacked, apparently. I don't know if this is referenced somewhere else in the series, or if I failed to pick up on it earlier, maybe when it was mentioned, but that's what I was told. Just woke up, so you're a bit out of it, but nice to wake up to this. Well, I'm glad you like it, Senpai. That's good to hear. The victim, Jill Crane, was a member of the Prosecutorial Investigation Committee, you see. Personally, I didn't really know her that well, you know? Yeah, about the fact that you didn't know her all that well. How is that even possible? So you're saying you weren't very familiar with the victim. That's right, I didn't even know about the burn mark on Crane's hand, you see? You didn't know about the burn mark. Well, you see, even if I had gotten close to her, she would have disappeared soon. Why? It's a pain to remember someone, you know, when they're just gonna disappear. You see, why? What is he saying? In other words, anyone who defies him disappears. I would like you to add your statement about the victim's burn to your testimony. He just practically admitted that he knew she was gonna die. I only just learned that she had a burn mark on her hand, you see? So you're saying that you didn't know about the victim's burn. Is that really the truth? You really are persistent, you know. Do you really think I would pay attention to every little wound on a woman's hand? I would think the burn mark on the victim's hand would be hard to miss. Actually, maybe it's him with his lighter who burned her at some point. Now that you mention it, Jill Crane would regularly wear gloves. I too did not know about the burn until the incident occurred. Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. I thought so. She was probably trying to hide the burn mark, you see? I understand how sensitive a woman can be about these things, you know? You know? I would like you to add your so-called sensitive understanding of a woman to your testimony. Yeah, there was something about that, I think. Maybe she was always wearing gloves in order to hide the burn mark, you know? Well, she wasn't always wearing them because... Yeah. In the recording in the stuffed animal, one of the two persons, probably the culprit, is mentioning a burn mark. So she wasn't wearing gloves at that time. So she was not always wearing gloves. Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. If that is true, then it creates a huge contradiction. Oh, a huge contradiction, you say? I would like you to listen to the voices recorded on the stuffed animal one more time. I wonder what it records on. What is it? A tape or something? Or a wax tube? Why does it make that noise? And I knew you were right. Who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. It does make sense that it's other prosecutor's badges. His own is on his collar. However, you spell that. Yeah, collar. Yeah, with an A. Too tired to try and find out. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Silence, huh? I've been waiting for my chance to get revenge all this time. Ah! We were under the impression that this was the moment when the victim was murdered. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. We thought that the statement was said by the culprit. Isn't that fine? What's the problem, you know? Heh. There is a huge problem with that. If the victim had been wearing gloves from the start, it would have been impossible to see the burn on her hand. Gloves come off very easily, you know? She could have taken them off during the auction. That's not true. Miss Crane had been wearing her gloves when I took her place. She must have been wearing them before she was murdered. What are you saying? Don't you understand the position you're in? I'm not scared anymore. I have Granny here with me. Blaze, your day of reckoning has finally come. Somehow it seems like you all want to disappear. Permanently. The only one who will be disappearing here is you, Blaze the Best. Hey, how dare you say that to Pops? Does it really matter if the burn mark was visible or not? It certainly does matter. If the burn mark was visible, then we'd have a complete turnabout of the situation. Well, also, there's two things you can deduce from the recording. Not only the burn mark was visible at the time when the recording happened, so she was not always wearing gloves, but the person says that she could not hide that burn mark forever, which means that that person had already seen the burn mark before. So it was not only the burn mark was visible at that moment, but it was not the first time that the culprit had seen it. What are you saying? If the victim's burn mark wasn't visible, what exactly does that tell you? Yeah, that would be the voice of the victim that you can hear on the recording then, if that's the case? So it would be the culprit who had a burn mark? Sebastian, turn your way of thinking around. If the victim was wearing gloves, then her burn mark could not have been seen. In that case, whose burn mark was seen? Someone else's burn mark? Precisely, the culprit must have had a burn mark as well. In other words, I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. The person who said this was not the culprit, but the victim. What? Objection. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, the voice can't be identified because of the voice changer in the masks. Yeah, that's true. Because I was gonna say, why is it then that Courtney did not recognize the voice if she knew the victim? But yeah, if the voice was morphed in some way, then yeah, she wouldn't have been able to recognize it, I guess. Sebastian, could you please step aside? Edgeworth, all your reasoning up until now was just a figment of your imagination, you know? Yep, it's never specified who is talking and who has the burn mark in question. Yeah. It was our assumption, I guess. The culprit had a burn mark? Where was it, you know? If you can't answer that, then your logic doesn't hold up, you know? It's very nice and tricky. Where was the culprit's burn mark? Under his beard! I wonder where the burn mark could have been. During the auction, wasn't everyone wearing a disguise? Yes, so it would have been... Well, the mask. Part of the face was not hidden by the mask, she said. Indeed, during the auction, everyone should have been dressed in a particular way. If the burn mark was still visible under those conditions, then... why don't you show us? Where was the culprit's burn? You'll have to show me the proof, you see. Wait, if the culprit is the conductor... the facial tattoo, could that be the burn? What if it's not that? Because it's practically the only thing that we know about the conductor from the evidence, really. That he had a tattoo. And what he was wearing, anyway. It was what the conductor was wearing during the auction. In other words, the outfit you were wearing at the time. What can you figure out from the clothes alone? Not the clothes, the tattoo, maybe. No? The conductor had been wearing a white suit, white glove, and a mask. His attire had covered up most of his skin. However, according to Miss Jensen's testimony, the conductor's mask exposed a small part of his face. In addition, while she thought there had been a tattoo there. It's possible that she simply mistook the burn mark for a tattoo. Okay, so my deduction was right then. A burn mark on his face.
Objection.
That's all very scintillating. Wow, what a choice of word. But I'm afraid you're getting excited over nothing, you know? None of the PIC members have any burn marks on their faces, you see? Well, are you hiding something behind your beard, maybe? Like your neck, possibly. What part of his face would not have been covered, I guess? If he was wearing clothes, I guess he would have been recognized if his beard was just dangling down from under the mask. So if he was wearing a mask to not get recognized, maybe he had like his beard, I don't know, pulled behind his back or something like that, hidden somewhere back there. And the neck would have been visible, maybe? Naturally, that includes me as well, you know? Pops, but... Sebastian, could you please be quiet? If you're an idiot, then act like one, you know? Normally, Sebastian is a nuisance to everyone around him, but this time I owe him my gratitude. That reaction from Blaze's own son, it reveals the truth more clearly than anything else. Thanks to him, I am confident that my reasoning is correct. I know who that unidentified piece of evidence belongs to. I wonder what's wrong with that prosecutor. Usually Sebastian is slower to arrive at the truth than anyone else. But here, if he knows something about his pops, then he would be faster to arrive at the truth because he already knows it. However, this time, he has probably figured it out. His own father is a criminal. Since he knows the truth, he's in pain, isn't he? If he didn't know the truth, he could have remained blissful in his ignorance. Okay, we are here in order to pursue the truth. It doesn't matter what path my reasoning takes. The important thing is to arrive at the truth. Once before, when I lost faith in my reasoning, you said that to me and showed me the way. This time I shall show you the truth. You are innocent. I also want to know the truth. Mr. Edgeworth, please tell me. Yes, that's the spirit. That's impossible, you know, for all of you. I mean, just where could I possibly have a burn mark? Under your beard, I guess. Or covered up by the glasses, maybe? Is that why his eyes are watering all the time, maybe? I don't know, that seemed a bit far-fetched. But then again, that's right, there is no contradiction at all. There is no way there can be a contradiction, not for my pups. Sebastian, I understand why you don't want to admit it. However, if you avert your eyes from the truth, you will regret it forever. Pops, just what should I do? Huh. I really wonder why you're such an idiot, you know? Sebastian, if you really want to save me, you'll have to try a little bit harder, you see? Gotta use your head, you know? Honestly. You really are a useless idiot. Yeah, because I actually wonder now if it may be something to do with the glasses, because who would wear such glasses? I mean, like, ever. I mean, at first I thought it was just part of the design of the character, but it's a bit weird. I mean, well, okay, so the characters in that game series always look a bit weird, but in this case, maybe it serves a function. Yeah, poor Sebastian. Yeah, his Pops is really a harsh person. Gotta use your head, you know. Honestly, you really are a useless idiot. No way, but I tried real hard. I tried my best, Pops. I went to the school you told me to go to reach the top of my class just like you told me to. Well, that I wonder if that's really true. Just look at this jacket. Only someone who graduates at the top of his class gets to wear it. I did everything you told me to do. That's how I got to be the best at the academy. I even won all those awards just so I could be like you, Pops.
Objection.
You really are such an idiot, you know. You know those gold stars you got on your tests? I made the teachers give them to you. Ah, so that's how it happened. Every speech and debate contest, all of the judges were my friends. You know, Sebastian, if you weren't even able to notice something like that, you really are an idiot. Yeah, you're really not worthy of being called my son, don't you think? Well, it was not exactly helping him to get him to gain stuff that he didn't deserve, because then how is he supposed to improve? Conflicted between wanting to help his father, who he looks up to, and wanting to find the truth like Edgeworth does. Yeah. I guess he's gonna have to go back to school and start from scratch, unfortunately. Even my son has disappeared. Well, you made him disappear. Oh my, it's enough to make me cry, you know. He was trying his best for me, and yet he was totally useless, you know. You are truly a despicable person, as a chairman of the PIC and as a father. Even I feel sorry for that foolish prosecutor. Well, I kind of feel a bit sorry for him anyway, even if I don't like him very much the rest of the time. Poor Mr. Prosecutor. Blaze the best. You, just what you think of your own son. He's just a useless pawn, you see. Why now? Maybe you should look in the mirror before you criticize me, you know? I mean, even you also used Sebastian to get close to me, didn't you? I cannot deny that. However, he is not a mere pawn. He always tries to do his very best, even if the results aren't up to par. I've seen just how hard he tries, and yet you refuse to even acknowledge it.
Objection.
Ha 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 ha. That kid is no good, you see, no matter what he does or is told to do. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall leave this offering to the goddess of law to you. Deliver her divine judgment against Blaze the Best. If there was a burn mark on the conductor's face, then Blaze the Best must be hiding it. What was he wearing during the auction? A mask? That is the key to revealing the truth. Well then, allow me to hear your answer. Please show the piece of evidence that proves the culprit had a burn mark on his face. Is it the testimony from before? The conductor prepared wigs so that Jill Crane could be impersonated. For some reason, there was both a straight wig and a wavy wig. Yeah, I still wonder about that, actually. But since Miss Crane's hair is straight, the wavy wig was left unused. Is he wearing a wig right now? I've said it once and I'll say it again. With a bit of a correction. So many bad parents in Ace Attorney series. Yeah. This one in particular, I have to say. Nah, that's got nothing to do with it. Photo of someone in a red raincoat. Wait. No, the bird mark is something to do with the recording. I guess it could be that one too, but it doesn't bring any more information than we already knew, so No, that wouldn't be in the letter. Keycard record. I think it might be something to do with the wig, maybe, because, quite frankly, I don't see what else it could be. I'm gonna save here just in case. Maybe the glasses are actually so that the wig would not move. That's also another possibility, I guess. If you would recall Miss Jensen's testimony, there is still one point that remains unexplained. 2 types of wigs had been prepared, one of which was left unused. Do you mean the wavy wig? What are you talking about? It was something Miss Jensen found when she switched places with the victim. What does something like that have to do with the burn? It's being covered by a wig right now? Is he burned on his scalp or something? On his Inside the costume trunk, Miss Jensen witnessed 2 wigs. One of them had been used by Miss Jensen to make her look like the victim. Now then, just what was the other wig used for? It doesn't seem like it was a spare wig. There's no need to overthink it. Just compare the attire of the true culprit, the conductor, with that of Blaze the Best. Don't stare at me like that. Don't you think there's just one spot where there is a huge contradiction? Specifically around his face. Well, yeah, because if he was wearing a mask, I mean, if this was really his hair and his beard, I suspected that he might have tried to conceal his beard in one way or another, but I guess in this case, it would have been impossible to hide his beard or his long hair. It would have been easily recognizable. Not a wig at all? Indeed, it was no wig. Blaze the Best, it was your fake beard. Oh, it was a fake beard? Not a wig at all? Ah ha ha, this is a real beard, you know. Don't tease me like that, Edgeworth. Your son must have realized the truth before anyone else. That's why he was trying so desperately to protect you. You were also worried that he would tell the truth. Isn't that why you drove your son away from here? Because he knew that his father was hiding a burn under his fake beard. Grr. Blaze the Best. How about you remove that fake beard of yours? Yo! Is that his break? It burns! Oh, okay, there we go. It's actually a fairly recognizable burn mark. I guess I understand now why it would be confused for a tattoo if it's shaped like a skull. Ah, a burn mark! Prosecutor Edgeworth, justice has been served before the goddess of law. For that, I give you my thanks. Ah, she wasn't so bad after all, then. I should be the one thanking you. Blaze the Best, I hereby announce my verdict. Guilty. You shall be taken into custody for the murder of Jill Crane. Mm. Miss Edgeworth, thank you very much. I am so happy that you believed in me to the very end. There wasn't much left of this case after all. I thought it was gonna be a bit longer than that final part. There is no need to thank me. As a prosecutor... No, as a friend, I simply wanted to save you. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I bring good tidings. It seems that former Chairman the Best has been safely detained in the detention center. However, the search for the murder weapon, the auction gavel, continues. Blaze the Best is a shrewd man. There is a good chance that he has already disposed of it. There is also one piece of testimony that concerns me. Blaze the Best mentioned that the only thing he did not fake were the letters. What do you mean? Thank you so much for helping with my plan. I'm glad that we can help each other get what we want. It's like killing two birds with one stone. Well, this was really Kay writing that to Jill Crane, I guess. Dear Kay, I promise that I'll get it back for you, your most precious memory. Jill, yeah. Then he also found this letter on Kay, who was unconscious in the storeroom. The contents of the letter seemed to suggest the two had been corresponding with each other. Yeah. Which is why Blaze the Best assumed that the two were working together. Ridiculous, that can't be right. Ah, my stylus! After reading the two letters, he decided to pin the crime on Kay Faraday. In order to cast suspicion on her, he planted one of the letters in a noticeable spot. The deceased Jill Crane's left breast pocket. Isn't that just an excuse? Yes, that is what I thought as well. It may have simply been a last-ditch effort to save himself. However, before the stern eyes of the Goddess of Law, these are all trivial matters. His crime shall certainly not go unpunished. With this, I have finally fulfilled one of my long-standing missions. Judge Courtney, will you tell me what you know? Why did Blaze the Best murder Jill Crane? And what lies hidden behind this case? Yes, I don't mind. You have the right to know everything. Long ago, Jill Crane was in love with a cameraman. That man was pursuing the black market auction as a journalist. And then, before he could reach the truth, he was erased. The feelings and the items Miss Crane inherited from her beloved brought her to the auction. She had come to exact revenge on the conductor, Blaze. Although in the end, she was the one who was murdered instead. I see, so that's what happened. While the Goddess of Law cannot condone her actions, we have succeeded in our goal of bringing Blaze the Best's crimes to light. So Judge Courtney's goal was to expose Blaze the Best and reveal the dark secrets of the PIC. By the way, what happened to the young prosecutor? We have been unable to contact him for some time now. Do you have any idea where he might be? I had not been truly working for him, so... I see. I feel very sorry for him. What you should be sorry for is the fact that he was kept in the dark until now. No matter how cruel reality is, he will have to accept it. If he can't... crap, I pressed a bit too quickly. A father's influence is not something that is easily erased. However, I'm sure he will be able to change from here on out. Yes, that's right. Surely, you must be right. Will I too be able to walk my own path in life? Kay, is your body alright? Yes, thanks to you. I'm so sorry. Even though you're my patient, you ended up getting suspected because of me. Ouch! You can't just take care of the patient's body, you gotta take care of the heart too. That's my granny. Kay, how are your memories? I feel like I'm on the verge of remembering something. Come on, Kay. Well, then I shall take my leave here. I will be presiding over Patricia Rowland's trial. Who's Patricia Rowland again? Who is she again? I don't remember. Was that mentioned before? That would be the trial for the murder of Horace Knightley. Ah, okay. Yeah, okay. Who's in charge of the defense? Yeah, it was the warden of the prison. Yeah, there you go. Miss Crane was supposed to be our defense attorney, but now that she has passed away, we are currently arranging for a replacement defense attorney. Jill Crane had been in charge of Patricia Rowland's defense. I'll also have to get in contact with Sebastian quickly, since he's the prosecutor in charge. Well then. Please wait. What about Mr. Edgeworth's prosecutor's badge? What will happen to his prosecutor's badge? With the chairman's arrest, the PIC is no longer functional, so I cannot answer that question easily. Perhaps one could say, only the goddess of law knows. But that's... You don't need to worry about me. This is the path that I have chosen. It seems you have no plans to change it either. Of course not. I chose this path to seek the truth. With the departure of Blaze the Best, the law has once again returned to our hands. If you truly desire to continue the prosecutor's path, I am willing to assist you in reclaiming your badge. I appreciate the sentiment, but I must decline. I did not relinquish my badge with half-hearted feelings. I see. It seemed that our path of law will continue to run counter to each other. Heh. Until our path cross once again, I shall have you hold on to that badge. That was my intention from the start. However, on occasion, the goddess of law is quite generous. Please return this notebook to its proper owner. Ah, her book of promises. Kay's promise notebook. It seems this was scheduled to be put up for bidding at the black market auction. The name Kay is written on the notebook. It seems Blaze the Best quickly realized this belonged to the girl, since the letters he found also contained the same name. You speak as if you really did not know about the letters. Are you saying that Blaze really did not prepare the letters himself? Yes, that man said so himself. Kay Faraday's goal was to steal back the notebook. Jill Crane's goal was to get revenge. In order to achieve their goals, the two teamed up to infiltrate the auction, or so he says. Unfortunately, this was all Blaze's misunderstanding. It was purely a coincidence. If the attorney from the PIC and Kay really were acquaintances, it would be strange that she never mentioned it to me, considering her personality. Haha, you really do trust her, don't you? In the end, the notebook was used as another red herring, but it's something that is very important to that girl, isn't it? I'll make a special exception and return it. I'm sure that's what the goddess of law desires. That's, I appreciate it. I shall pray that she recovers her lost memories. Is something wrong? Maybe her memories will come back now if she reads her book. Kay, I am returning something very important to you. This is... Always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Never cry in front of a stranger. Look, Daddy, I wrote them all down. Yep, I'll be sure to follow all of our promises and become a hero just like you, Daddy. That's right. There was one more. I forgot to write down the most important promise. Promise number 5. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. Hey, I'll be sure to remember. I'll never ever forget them. I'll never forget them. Always try your hardest to learn things you don't understand. That's right, I am. Oh. I am the great thief who steals the truth, Kay Faraday. I am the second year Takarasu and Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Yes. Kay, you remember. It's kinda embarrassing though. Thank you so much. It's all thanks to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Even when I lost my memories, you were still always trying to save me, right? It seems you're back to normal. Wow, Kay, you've gotten better. Your health comes first, now you can relax. Just make sure you don't run off and lose all your memories again. Ha, Miss Jensen, Dr. Young, thanks for worrying about me. Hey, if you're feeling all better, how about changing back into your own clothes? I washed your clothes for you. Okay, so they're nice and clean. These clothes. Wasn't Detective Gumshoe holding on to them? He said forensics was done with them, so he gave them back to me. Have they revealed the results of the analysis yet? To be honest, I actually didn't think to ask about that. Now, more importantly, let's hurry up and get you changed, Kay. Is she still gonna have her bandages? Yeah. Isn't it better if we do not remove our bandages? She should be fine now. Yeah, because it would take too much space on the cartridge if you had to store the sprites of her wearing both her clothes and the bandages. That's just an excuse to save some space on the cartridge. But they gave it a reason in the story. Kate just bumped her head. She didn't really have any other major injuries. Then why was she so heavily bandaged? Better safe than sorry. A pound of prevention is worth an ounce of cure. That's my motto. Yeah, safety first. What a troublesome motto. Come on, Kay, let's get you dressed up over there. And back to our regular sprites. Yeah. With no signs that anything ever happened. Yeah, even the brooch of the Yatagarasu, the emblem, is on her scarf now. Now, this is definitely what a great thief should look like. A smile certainly suits you best. In the past, and now as well. Ms. Von Kama, thank you for coming too. I only came because of Scruffy asked me to. That's Scruffy. He also wanted to see your energetic self again. Gummy, what happened to Gummy? Who knows? Maybe he was disgusted with the men who willingly threw away his prosecutor's badge. Detective Gumshoe. I must be going soon. I'll be taking these ladies in for questioning. What's going to happen to the two of them? One aided in the murder of an attorney, the other forged an autopsy report 18 years ago. Those crimes definitely won't disappear. Of course, I will mention in court that they were being blackmailed by Blaze. We'll be just fine, as long as Granny's by my side. We're invincible. Well then, take care. She's a real tsundere. Yeah, she is actually. I believe someone mentioned that in the comments last time when I played the first game, actually, because that's really who she is. It's very true. Now then, Kay. Sorry to ask so soon, right after you regained your memories, but I have some questions. Sure, ask me anything you want. What were you doing on the day you lost your memories? On that day, I was asked to come to Gourd Lake. I don't know who called me there, though. As I was watching the moon at Gourd Lake, a person in a red raincoat approached me. All of a sudden, he used some kind of drug to knock me out. What? What is she saying? The place where Kay saw the moon was at Gourd Lake, not at the top of the building? When I woke up, it seems I somehow ended up on the roof of the Grand Tower. My mind was still in a daze, so I stumbled around for a bit. That's when I found the person in the red raincoat collapsed. I was startled, and when I stepped back in panic, I fell from a high place and got knocked out cold again. And when I woke up, all my memories were gone. The person in the red raincoat, who exactly was that person? Oh yeah, I was certain that I saw them walking in midair. Somehow this is all starting to make my head hurt. Please calm down. You're just a little confused because you've only recently gotten your memories back. Most likely, this is the main cause of your confused memories. Your name on the notebook? Nah. Yeah, it's probably because of the two places. This is probably the main cause of your confused memories. You saw the moon at both the Gourd Lake Park and the Grand Tower rooftop, which led you to confuse the two places. Huh? But aren't they totally different places? Even if I was in a daze, do you really think I'd get them confused? Most likely there was something at the Grand Tower which led to your confusion. Well, there's a booth, well, a stall kind of like that one at Gourd Lake, isn't there? I believe that might be the reason, because there's a food stall. The Cran Tower Rooftop and Gourd Lake have 2 points in common. Oh, 2? They both have a cherry tree and a food stall. Oh, okay, so yeah, I could have also picked the cherry tree then. Now that you mention it. Your memories were confused because you had been in 2 similar locations. The person that you first saw could not have been walking in midair. They were simply walking on the ground at Gourd Lake Park. You must have gotten that scene confused with the Grand Tower Rooftop. So that's what happened. How dare they steal the memories of a great thief? But who's manning the food stall at Gourd Lake, if you remember? Someone who also had a red raincoat before. Shelly the Killer. Could it be him? If he was behind the food stall at Gourd Lake, because he says that he is an ice cream salesman or something like that. Yeah, that could have been him, actually. Nevertheless, I wonder who the person that assaulted Kay was. Well, could it have been him? The person in the red raincoat who appeared at Gourd Lake. Beep, 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 beep. What's that noise? It sounds like it's coming from the storeroom. Mr. Edgeworth, let's go check it out. What's this? My shutterbug sense is tingling. I smell me another scoop. Shelly the Killer. The professional assassin who appeared in the previous case in the same game. The one with a scar like stitches going down his face, and he wears a monocle as well all the time. He was in the... was it the first or second case of this game, I think? He was suspected of being the one who attempted to kill the president of Zhengfa or something like that, yeah. Mr. Edgeworth, this walkie-talkie thing here is what's beeping. And usually Shelly the Killer likes to communicate using this kind of thing, so swallowed my spit through the wrong tube. Anyway, Mr. Edgeworth, this walkie-talkie thing here is what's beeping. This transceiver. Why do I feel like I've seen it somewhere before? It's Shelly the Killer, isn't it? Still beeping, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not particularly familiar with this sort of device. Come on, we have to answer it. Here goes. Hello, Edgeworth speaking. Okay, please, don't just answer it on your own. I am speaking with Mr. Miles Edgeworth, I presume. This voice is... Shelly the Killer, yeah, I knew it! I congratulate you on resolving the case, however... Can you truly say in good conscience that it has been solved? Are you aware of the mastermind who is pulling the strings behind this incident? You, why do you know about the incident? That's not important right now, wouldn't you agree? Right now, we're discussing the mastermind behind this case. Well, he's usually a hired man, so... It's probably not him, but someone he works for. The same person who asked him to attempt a murder on the president or something like that. I've had an inkling that such a person existed even before you said anything. After all, there was evidence to suggest that someone had used Kate to disrupt the investigation. Huh? There was? So, who's this mastermind? I would like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Would you kindly show me the evidence that indicates the existence of a mastermind? Something about K then. Thank you so much for helping with my plan. I'm glad that we can help each other get what we want. It's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Get revenge for 12 years ago? Someone who wants revenge for 12 years ago? No, not the key card. Or memories, maybe. Ah, but I can't check it out. Someone walked towards her from behind the stand and pushed her off the roof. She had a letter too. Yeah, that one. I promise that I'll get it back for you, your most precious memory. Yeah, no, that can't be it. The Chamin Ninja Mask? No, probably not. Yeah, where is Dover's son anyway, or Gustavia's son? Could they be related to that somehow? I'm gonna save.
Take that!
This indicates the existence of a mastermind in this case. I can't say I really understand. I am very sorry, but I also do not understand. Okay, so that was not it then. Ah, crud. This wasn't it. That's not it. Switched places with the victim? No. The ticket stub? No. Yeah, come to think of it, if someone moved their body to the top of the tower, then someone else had to buy the ticket stub, right? Oh, but I don't have to save because I already did. Is it it? Is it it? Is that it? No, that's not it either. Ah, crud. What is it then? I'm a bit stumped on this one. The purple flower? No. Candelabra. They only say thought to be written by K on this one. Actually, yeah, there's something that bothers me because it was found on the victim. In the pocket. But it was not pierced by the candelabra. But it was still found on the victim, so someone put it there, but apparently Blaze the Best had nothing to do with it. And it's obviously not K, so someone else did it, isn't it?
Take that!
There's something different there, so I guess that's the right answer. It was the letter that K allegedly sent to the victim. Come to think of it, I don't remember writing that letter at all. Who could have prepared this letter? Wait, it's someone who asks for revenge for something that happened 12 years ago, not 18? 12 years ago, 12 years ago. What happened 12 years ago? Other than Kay's father being killed, maybe? Wait, where's that letter? The reason it wasn't pierced was because Blaze put it there after having killed her. I thought he said he had nothing to do with the letter, though. Please get revenge for 12 years ago. I, too, am quite curious to know. So you're not the one who wrote the letter. What could I possibly gain from doing such an act? I mean, if it's not Kay who wrote it, and it's not Blaze the Best either, it had to be someone else who wrote it. Unless he... Yeah, maybe he just happened to find the two letters and to put one on... Yeah, you might be right, yeah. Yeah, it just... Yeah, you're right, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he found them. Yeah, and then he put it there to frame K. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Fair enough. What could I possibly gain from doing such an act? Is it not necessary for you to stand in court in order to make the truth clear? What can you possibly do now that your badge has been taken from you? I look forward to finding out from the shadows. This man, how does he know that? Do we have an understanding? Please ensure you do not betray my trust. Now then, if you'll excuse me. He said the case wasn't solved yet, but what did he mean by that? And why would Mr. the Killer even bother telling us that? Nothing makes sense anymore. Usually, he always does something in his own interest, the killer. And more often than not, it's because someone has betrayed his trust that he cooperates with the law. Maybe he was betrayed by someone at some point and he wants us to figure out who. This case has not reached its true conclusion yet. However, although I've lost my prosecutor's badge, who I am still has not changed. While I don't know where this may lead me, I shall reveal the truth, I swear it. Yeah, I guess by the end he's gonna get his badge back. Because I think, unfortunately, I've seen screenshots of the later games, and I think in the games on the 3DS he is still a prosecutor, and those take place after this one. So I guess I'm kind of spoiled what happens next, unfortunately, in that sense. But anyway, this will be the final turnabout of the game, I guess. Like when Matangard betrayed him. Yep, exactly. What's that? Godzilla. What the heck? Nah, someone's dreaming that. That's not possible. Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's that TV show, I guess. I wasn't far off the mark when I said Godzilla. It resembles it. Although I guess no, isn't that the bull? The thing that there was a doll thereof, missing a horn. Moodzilla or something like that? Yeah, I think it was Moodzilla that it was called. So, what are you all gonna do now? I reckon you're through being a prosecutor, right? Also, it picks up right where the previous case stopped then. Yes, that's true, I suppose. I'm no longer a prosecutor. However, you can't stop thinking about what Mr. the Killer said, right? I'm honestly very interested to see what you think of this last case. It's your favorite case in the game and one of your favorite in the series. Well, we'll see. I'm only just getting started. Can't stop thinking about what Mr. the Killer said, right? Indeed. I congratulate you on resolving the case. However, can you truly say in good conscience that it has been solved? This case isn't over yet. The person in the red hood who kidnapped Kay at Gourd Lake, and this letter from an unknown sender. Someone's schemes are at work behind this case. Must be tough having a case you just solved still nagging at the back of your mind. Well, I got some investigating of my own to be doing, so I'll be off. That's amazing. You've already decided on your next scoop? What are you saying there, Missy? Don't you be underestimating the likes of Lotta Hart. I've covered a lot of scoops, you know? That's it. She starts saying, you know. I always have an extra scoop or two up my sleeves, you see? While we're at it. Someone help! Yikes, what's that? Hey, there she is again. I can't remember her name though. Someone, please help. This woman is... What's happened? Somebody's dead. A monster. A monster? It's a scoop. A scoop's calling me. Please, follow me. It's this way. I like her running animation. Lotta Hart. Like doing big wide gestures like this. Has something else happened again? I don't know. At any rate, we should follow her for now. I guess we won't be seeing her running anymore. Outside Grant Tower, temporary film lots. Hey, these are genuine hoof prints. Hoof prints? Impossible. No animal could be this large. Mr. Edgeworth, look! Does it look like the president? Someone's on the ground? It can't be. It is the president. President of Zengfa. Dr. Dijun Wong. Dijun Wong. Agent Lang. Mr. Prosecutor. Didn't take you long to get here. What happened? What happened? Ha! That's what I'd like to know. It would seem that he's in a considerable amount of shock over the president's death. However, what exactly are these giant footprints? Well, Moodzilla, I guess. And what could have happened to the president? It's a monster! A monster? Yes, sir, you looky here. Ain't no doubt about it. These are clearly the footprints of a monster. Hey, wolf guy. Yeah. On this day, mankind received a grim reminder. We live in fear of the mighty Moodzilla. Mighty Moodzilla? This here's a scoop. I got myself a scoop. Man trampled to death by monster. I reckon it'll be the top story in tomorrow's paper. What nonsense. There are no such things as monsters. Wait, it can't be. I am Dijun Wong. I have heard of your deeds. You saved my country from a great crisis. The real assassin was you all along. That is correct. I received a request from a key individual to take the president's life. That man, could he have done it? Hey you, were you the first to discover the body? Yes, well... Agent Lang. Langsi says. First come, first suspected. You, did you really just discover the body? Of course! Please, calm down, you're scaring her. He does seem to have lost his composure. He failed in protecting his president, so it makes sense. Calm down? How am I supposed to calm down? Do you know who's been murdered? Dijun Wong, the president of Zengfa.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, this isn't like you. When we first met, you had an army of subordinates under your command. And you boasted of having the highest arrest rate in Interpol. And what now? Did you forget the fundamentals of investigation along with all of your men? What did you say? Instead of questioning people at random, you should investigate the crime scene first. Am I wrong? I don't need you to tell me that. I'll do a thorough investigation. Well, at least it seems he's calmed down for now. Let's investigate too, indeed. Right now I do not have any investigation rights, but until the police arrives... What are y'all saying? Ain't it obvious who done it? The man behind it all is the mighty Moodzilla. Well, I guess it ain't the man behind it, more like the monster behind it. You know? You see? No thanks. Good grief, could you please just try not to interfere with the investigation? Shut your trap. You're the one who better not be sticking your nose in my business. I ain't forgiving ya if you mess up my scoop. Excuse me. It's the woman who first discovered the body. I feel like I've seen her before. You're Mr. Edgeworth, right? Do you remember me? Yes, that case from before with the steel samurai. Do you know her? Yes, I do. At least I think I do. My name's Kay Faraday. I am Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. My, you have such a cute assistant. I'm Penny Nichols. Yeah, there we go. I am an assistant at Global Studios. I'm in charge of the props and sets. It's nice to meet you. Yes, that was it. How old is she in this one? I guess this takes place a few years later. 20. Yeah, that can't be more than 2 years later, I guess. And why I once handled a case that occurred during the filming of The Steel Samurai. This woman was a member of the show's staff, and she was involved in the incident. I must have met with her on numerous occasions over the course of the case. But to be honest, I had completely forgotten about her. Well, yeah, you can't possibly remember everyone from every case you've ever had to work on. It's nice to see you again. The fact that you are here must mean that this place is... Yes, this is sort of an outdoor film lot for Global Studios. They're shooting a movie here right now. I was the first to arrive today to set everything up for the filming. But everything seemed strange. Those giant footprints. And that dead body. I see, we shall examine the body. At any rate, could you please contact the police? Yes, right away. I'll have to take the time to listen to her story later. First, let's examine the scene. There are many things besides the body that concern me. Yeah, every crook and granny, yeah. Well, the body is one thing already. Wow, it really is the president. Well, he clearly wasn't flattened, so I guess we can rule out that as a cause of death. To think we saw him alive just a few days ago. That would make this a presidential assassination, right? This is a bit flashy for an assassination. I won't rest until I've inspected, all the crews and the grannies of the world, yeah. Well, the horn... Wait, is this a bone? Looks like we've got a new case on our hands. It looks less like a bone and more like some kind of horn. Well, the body itself. There are no visible external wounds, but it's clear that he has already passed away. Well, there's... I noticed the yellow stain on his jacket earlier. So then I guess he really did get stepped on by a monster? That's impossible. Don't the president's clothes look a bit dirty to you? Indeed, there appears to be some sort of yellow stain, yeah. I bet it's a monster drool. Okay, please be more serious. We'll need to have forensics take a closer look at this stain. So this was the state of the body. I should make a note of it. Crime scene notes. Body surrounded by pieces of concrete, yellow stain on clothes. That's the check button for details. Yeah, well. There are broken pieces of concrete scattered all around the president. Yes, they were probably scattered about when the ground got damaged. And that must have been when the monster's foot went thud. If the culprit was actually a monster... Yeah, they look like giant footprints. It kinda looks like a hoof, the way it's split in two like that. Yep, it definitely looks like a monster's footprint to me. And there's even 3 of them, Mr. Edgeworth. There are 3 footprints at the scene. They are shaped like hooves. There are no such things as monsters. Do you honestly believe they exist? No, not really. But wouldn't it be cool if they did exist? We're searching for the truth, Kay. Not for what is cool. Yeah, please. Miss Nichols, where does this entrance lead to? It's connected to the Grand Tower lot. Does this case also have something to do with that building? The building with the secret 51st floor where the black market auctions were being held. Yeah, that was like 5 minutes ago, so I haven't forgotten already. It wouldn't be strange if it were still hiding a few more secrets. Grand Tower data jotted down in my organizer. And I wouldn't be surprised if this case was connected to the other one, to the previous one either, because the timing of the death, just as the other guy was found guilty, I wouldn't be surprised. It's lock and chain. Ah, someone cut through the chain. What? I'm sure it was locked up properly yesterday, though. Then it's possible the culprit forced his way in through here. Okay. Ah. What is it? It's completely dented in. How did this happen? There is indeed a huge dent in the fence over there. Something rather heavy must have struck it in order to make a dent like that. It wasn't like that at all yesterday. It wasn't. So this dent was made last night. Yesterday it was still fine. Did it get struck by something heavy? Well, hold on. Let's gather as much as we can first. Ah, there's something else in black there. What do you want? I'm a busy gal. You best not get in my way. Why are you so obsessed with that monster? Such a thing couldn't possibly exist. What'd you say? I ain't letting that pass. Moodzilla lives, I'm sure of it. It's the mightiest monster on this side of the Pacific Rim. I don't suppose you have some kind of basis for that. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. What? You saw it? No way. Yes, way. The mighty Moodzilla was really here. Last night, when I was on the 51st floor of the Grand Tower. You mean when you were snooping around the black market auction, and you never brought it up until now? That's right. It was right around when I took this here photo. That's the photo of the person in the red hood. This was Jill Crane, right? You see those blinds next to the red hood? Well, the mighty Moodzilla was on the other side. Huh. But there's nothing in the photo. It's mighty hard to capture something like that from such a distance. But I seen it plain as day. What, the eye? That's what, yeah, the thing from the intro sequence. Moodzilla's giant eye was peering in through those blinds. The monster was peering in? Looky here, now ain't the time for this. I gotta gather my materials. You all are in my way. Now go on, get shoo. How absurd. Mr. Edgeworth, you must be completely dumbfounded right now, aren't you? Was it that clearly written on my face? I wonder what this iron pole is for. Yeah, me too. No, this is a film crane. It's used to capture footage from high locations. Right now it's not attached, but normally there would be a camera connected to the end. Yeah, when they're not filming, they don't just leave them there, I guess. Because they're, well, quite expensive. I get it. This would be perfect for scoping out the places you're trying to steal from. Do you think they would let me borrow this? And how exactly, may I ask, do you intend to bring it back home with you? Mr. Edgeworth, you can take the base, and I'll take the top part. Does she actually expect me to help her? If we take it nice and slow, we might be able to make it to your house, Mr. Edgeworth. Not only do you want me to help you carry it, but you plan to leave it at my house? What is wrong with you? I'm sorry about earlier. I was a little flustered. Ah, there we go. Were you here alone? Yes, I arrived before everyone else today in order to get things prepared. When I entered the lot, I immediately noticed those giant hoof prints. The monster's footprints, right? Weren't you surprised? Yes, because they hadn't been there yesterday evening. So that means the footprints were made last night. I still want to see Edgeworth's house. I wonder what it looks like. But when I got closer to the studio, I saw that the person had collapsed. You didn't notice until you got closer? Lately, it seems my eyesight has gotten worse again, and my glasses aren't strong enough. As I approached the body, I finally realized what it was. I was so scared I ran away. And that was when she ran into us. You said they were filming a movie. Could it be The Steel Samurai? No, so it wasn't. We're making a monster movie this time around. Have you ever heard of the Mighty Moodzilla series? I'm sorry, but no. Mr. Edgeworth isn't interested in anything other than the Steel Samurai after all. That's not... I guess that's to be expected as the promotion for the film hasn't really started yet. The Mighty Moodzilla, its revival breaks its 12 years of silence. It's the long-awaited sequel to the original series, so the staff are all fired up. The film is set at the Grand Tower, so we're filming on location around this area. Come to think of it, yesterday... What's wrong, pal? Did something happen at the Grand Tower? Cut! Excuse me, we're sort of in the middle of shooting a movie and, I saw them filming something then. It must have been this. I bet it ends with Moodzilla completely destroying the Grand Tower. Tee, I wonder. You'll have to look forward to finding out in the theaters. If you like, you can have this. Let's see, what is it? Flyer or is it a ticket? Mighty Moodzilla vs. Gordy. Now it meets its greatest rival. Mighty Moodzilla vs. Gordy. Wait, Gordy? This time it won't just be Moodzilla, a rival monster appears as well. Have you heard of it? Gordy of Gord Lake. Huh, wasn't it the talk of the town 2 or 3 years ago? It's a mysterious monster living in Gord Lake. By chance, someone took a photo of it. It wasn't just the talk of the town, it was also involved in a case from my past. Gordy, huh. Now there's a name I don't really want to remember. When the director caught wind of that rumor, he decided to add it into the story. I get the feeling he was a bit late to catch on. Please look forward to seeing the showdown between these two rival monsters. First new movie in 12 years, Mighty Moodzilla vs. Gordy. Monster movie flyer data. Ah, yeah, okay, it's a flyer. It's not a movie ticket. Is there anything out of place with what I've investigated so far? I should confirm what the security situation was like at the scene of the crime. Mr. Coles, was the entrance to this place locked? Yes, it's locked with this. It's one of those types where you have to put in the correct numbers to open it, right? About this combination lock, was it also properly locked today? Yes, when I arrived here today it was locked tight. Who knows the combination? The producer, the director, the staff, and the actors. I think everyone involved in the movie knew about it, so anyone involved with the film could have opened the combination lock and gone in. I should have a lot of logic now to work with. This here. Yeah, I got 5 pieces. Yeah, that came to mind when I was listening to her talk about it. The fact that that other lock was broken. Well, the chain anyway. The front entrance which leads to the Tower Plaza was locked with a combination lock, and at the other end, the lock on the rear entrance which leads to the Grand Tower was broken. Now, where does this lead us? Hehehe, I know this one. The culprit entered from the rear entrance, right? Exactly, and knowing this, we now understand one more critical fact. The culprit must be someone who didn't know the number to unlock the combination lock. Or maybe it was someone who knew and they just did that to throw off suspicion. Right, if they knew the code, it would have been way easier to enter from the front entrance, unless you were doing that specifically to cover your tracks. In my opinion. Entering through the back door is common sense for a thief. It's much less conspicuous. We can't underestimate the culprit who thinks like a thief. Please keep your guard up. She sure becomes lively all of a sudden when this subject gets brought up. To put it simply, everyone involved with the movie knows the combination for the lock. In other words, it's quite likely that the culprit is someone who is not involved with the film. Okay. These two probably go together as well, right? No? Ah, okay. They don't fit together quite right. Okay then. Oh, I can deduce? Yeah, that might be this. Something about the monster anyway. Ah, the flyer. Yeah, on the flyer you can see the horns. Doesn't this horn belong to that monster Mozilla? You're right, it looks just like it. Maybe it's a prop for the film. Based on the size of the horn, the head should be quite large. I wonder how it ended up here. I'm sure we'll find out if we ask someone on the staff. Someone on the staff. Ah, yeah, there we go. Okay. About this horn, if you ever seen it before. That's Mozilla's horn. It's a model we made to use in our ad campaign. Where was it? It was on the ground by the back entrance. That's strange. Mozilla's head should have been stored on the studio roof. I suppose the head would have to be rather large, wouldn't it? Yes, it's not as big as the real thing, of course, but it's still quite large. Look, you can see it from here. Okay, it's just the tip of the horn then. It's not the whole thing. Is it possible that he was pushed off the roof? It certainly is large. Broken horn was lying next to the body, had been stored on the roof last night. There sure are a lot of interesting things around here. Teehee. It's the equipment we use for filming, the Mozilla costume and the camera crane. They really are treasures. I'm getting kinda excited. It's possible that some of this equipment was used in the crime. I'd better take a closer look. But before that... the dent in the fence and the broken horn. Neither of these things were there yesterday evening. Based on the fact that these two things have changed... could Mozilla's head have... Indeed, the head that was on the rooftop may have stumbled down onto the ground. This is a new possibility, which would mean that... we may have found the missing murder weapon. Really? At the moment, I can only say that it's just a possibility. If the giant monster head had fallen off from the studio roof, that could definitely be a murder weapon. Miss Nichols, may we investigate the studio roof? The roof? Okay, I understand. Go on ahead, but the stairs can be a little bit slippery, so please watch your step. May we see the roof? Yes, of course. Yeah, let me go there. So, this is Mozilla. Somehow this doesn't feel quite right. See, this looks way cooler, and he doesn't have a nose ring either. Ah, I see. You two aren't familiar with Moodzilla. This is Moodzilla's original design from 12 years ago. What? Then, what's this? That's our take on it for the new movie. We revamped the design to appeal to modern audiences. Revamped, but it looks totally different. And no matter how you look at this one, it's a cow. Well, of course, after all, Moodzilla was originally a cow monster. A cow monster? Having a cow, an animal that humans are very familiar with, turn into a monster, allows us to question mankind's relationship with nature. That's the theme of Moodzilla. Meh, I just don't get it. Nor do I. Yeah, let's question all the grannies. Let's see, what's this, a heater? There's a heater here. Do you think the staff uses it to keep themselves warm? It's possible, although it may be spring, it can still get rather chilly at night. What's wrong with it having a nose ring? Hi, Witch Tower. Welcome back. What's wrong with it having a nose ring? There was a debate actually in Japan, but that was way after this game came out. Like, they asked people whether they wanted, there was a referendum to ask whether or not the cows should have a ring or not in their nose. Or something like that, I think. Or was it to have their horns trimmed or something like that? I can't quite recall. So, yeah, it's the kind of question that's kind of important to them, I suppose. It's possible, although it may be spring. Yeah, we already read that. Mr. Edgeworth, people are gonna think you're an old geezer if you say stuff like that. Even in the best of times, you tend to see things like an old man. Can't you at least try to be more cheerful and lively when you talk? Do I really seem that unlively? There is a can of paint thinner here. It's probably used for making crops. Mr. Edgeworth, doesn't the area around here look kinda burnt? Now that you mention it, it does. This spread out blue sheet, newspaper, and the side of this can all look burnt. I wonder if this Moodzilla's head can also shoot out flames. Well, this old Moodzilla design doesn't really look like it could breathe fire anyways. That's not our main concern, but I'm certainly curious. Well, let's have a look at the head for one thing. We made this replica of the original Moodzilla's head for promotional purposes. We'll be using it to let people know that the film is a sequel to the original series. I guess it would be hard for people to tell that they're the same monster. As we suspected, one of the horns appears to be broken. I have a nose ring, so I feel oddly insulted by it. Yeah, well, I guess over there's the question of, well, is it ethical? Doesn't it hurt the animal? And stuff like that. So, I think the question that was asked recently was more about the horns, I think. About them being cut. And I think most people said, well, we don't mind one way or another, but we don't want to put pressure on the farmers to have that to get that done, which would cost them more money and stuff like that when they are already struggling to make a living with their job. So just don't bother these people who work to raise animals, farm animals, and just leave them be or something like that, I think. I think the question had more to do with the horns than the nose ring, but I think it's quite common in Japan for cows to have a nose ring. I'm not sure why that is, but well, there you go. So did this head really crush the president? Well, I wonder. It's possible, however, there's something I don't quite understand. What's that? Miss Nichols, this head looks rather heavy. Yeah, if it fell on the president, how did it get back up on the roof? And why is part of the table broken as well? Yeah, I just noticed, actually. How do you transport it? It's made so that it can be taken apart. It's not that hard if you know how to do it. But if you don't know how, it would be pretty much impossible, I think. which means it would be difficult for anyone not involved in the film. When taken apart, would it be possible for one person to carry it alone? Definitely, given enough time, even I could do it. Yeah, and she's not exactly the beefiest of persons. The original Mozilla design. Last night it likely fell from the studio roof. However, this face is... Mr. Edgeworth. I feel like I've seen this cow somewhere before. It was the doll from the previous case. I was just thinking the exact same thing. It was on board the President's plane. And in the storeroom of the black market auction. The President's stuffed toy. So that was a doll of the original Mozilla. Could this really be just a coincidence? Mozilla doll jotted down, data jotted down in my organizer. Yeah, okay. Yeah, what about that table? Why is it broken like this? We already have a lot of evidence, even though we only just got started on that case. Well, if it's the last one in the game, it's probably gonna be tougher, and if it's tougher, well, there might be more evidence to work with. Some sort of wooden stand has fallen over. The area around it seems to be burnt black. Mozilla's head should have been on that stand. But the legs have broken off. It doesn't look like it can be used anymore. If it was on the table, or the stand like they call it, and the legs of the table burned, the table might have tipped over and the head might have accidentally fallen on the President. It's a possibility, I guess. I think it's safe to assume that a small fire occurred here. A small fire, huh? Is that what burnt and broke the legs of the stand? It's also possible that the fire was accidental. It might have happened because of the heater right next to it. Maybe it set the paint thinner on fire. When the legs broke, the stand would have tilted. If Mozilla's head was on top of the stand, it would have fallen off. So the head fell down because of the fire. Yes, and if that's the case, I also have a pretty good idea what caused the fire. There's a flammable can next to the heater. It seems someone is lacking in safety awareness. Yeah, that's what I just said. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll make sure this doesn't happen again. But I don't think anyone used the heater yesterday. I see. In that case, I wonder what caused the fire. I didn't mean... Since he had a Mozilla doll with him, maybe the President was a big fan. And his love for Mozilla was so great that he tried picking up the head and got crushed. I doubt a normal person would have the strength to lift this up. Since he wasn't involved with the movie, he wouldn't have known how to take it apart. If Mozilla really existed, that would explain everything though. Can't you just connect the pieces in that direction for once? With logic, I mean. Please, don't give me that look. Do I have more logic that I can connect? No, okay, I only have the one piece, so I can't. Mr. Prosecutor, so we meet again. Indeed, just a few days ago we met at the detention center. Agent Lang, what brings you here? Just some boring work, nothing you need to know about. You always pick the worst time to show up. Anyone ever tell you that bad things happen when you're around? Just don't get in the way of my investigation, okay? I must avenge the death of our president. Why were you here? You arrived here before us. What were you doing in a place like this? You suspect me? Heh, calm now. I heard a scream. It was the woman who found the body. After hearing the scream, I came in through that entrance over there. Apparently it wasn't locked. Then why is there a lock on the ground over there? I should take a closer look. Well, I already did. When I got in, the woman who found the body was already running out the other exits over there. So he came here around the same time we did. Why were you at the Grand Tower? Well, I had my reasons. also said something along those lines when we met at the detention center. Maybe he's really a fan of giant monsters and he came to sneak a peek at the Mozilla set. Giant monsters? I've no interest in such things. He clearly doesn't think the murderer is a monster either. President Wong. It's regrettable what happened to the president. Yeah, Wong was the pride of Zengfa, and yet, it seems like you were quite close to the president. The previous head of the Lang clan, my father, served under President Wong. Protecting the life of the president has long been our clan's greatest duty. My old man received a great number of special medals from the president himself. How long has he been president, if that was so long ago? As a token of his trust, the president left his will in the protection of the Lang clan. Those medals and that will, they were the pride of our clan, our family treasures, so to speak. Who would have thought the day to unseal that will would arrive so soon? So then, I guess the president was like a close family friend. Huh? But during the incident at Gourd Lake, why weren't you with the president, Mr. Lang? Well, a lot has changed. It all happened over 12 years ago. Aha! 12 years ago, you say? Back then, he and my old man were close friends and our clan protected the president. But then, he suddenly changed. It's as if he became an entirely different person. I'm not so hot right now. Nowadays, he doesn't even have a shred of faith in the police force of Zengfa. 12 years ago. I wonder what went on then. Okay. Even so, I still respect the man. Zengfa is a small country, but he carried the nation with his strength. Damn it, just what were his bodyguards doing? Have you already contacted the embassy? Yeah, of course. I've also informed Zengfa and my clan as well. It's gotten pretty hectic there, what with the will and all. But it'll be the same here once the bodyguards show up. If you don't want to see me rip into them, I suggest you get out of here soon. Mr. Prosecutor, right now, I'm just a single Interpol agent, a literal lone wolf. Yeah, quite literally. They probably won't let me be in charge of the investigation, but you better believe, my fangs are as sharp as ever. What about your wits, though? I'll definitely capture the culprit with my own hands, and you'd better not get in my way. Mr. Prosecutor, I'm going to take my leave here for a bit. There's something I have to check. Agent Lang, I wonder if he's caught on to something. Ah, the kid. Isn't he wearing his sunglasses now? Lang. Move it! What you say? Guess you're just a brat with no manners. And you're an annoying old man. Quit your yapping already. Is that a boy or a girl, actually? I can't tell. I'm terribly sorry. Come on, John. Oh no, it's John. Okay, so it's a little boy. Oh, what were you doing? Who was that? Someone from the police. Why did you suddenly pick a fight with him? That sure was a tense standoff. It didn't budge an inch, even before Agent Lang. Allow me to introduce you. This is John Marsh. He's the lead actor in our movie. The lead actor? Is this child? Hi, I'm Kay Faraday. Nice to meet you. And this is Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Prosecutor? He's a pretty famous prosecutor, you know. But he's not wearing a prosecutor's badge. How would he know about badges and stuff like that at his age? Yeah, he's frightfully perceptive. John, it's probably better if you didn't go over there. That's certainly not a sight a child should see. However, he is someone involved with the case. I'll need to speak with him later. Well, what about how about now? John, was it? Would you mind if I asked you a few questions? Hey, old man, you really a prosecutor? Yes. Old man. How old is he in this one, actually? 30? Something like that? Ah, yeah, but I can't see. Old man. Then, first show me your prosecutor's badge. I don't have my badge with me right now. Then you can't prove you're a prosecutor. This kid is a tough nut to crack, isn't he? Want me to give it a try? Yes, I'm counting on you, Kay. I'm not good with kids. So, John, you're an actor. Yeah, what about it? You're amazing, that's so cool. Not really. Good grief, at least that seems to have worked. About those horns. What about them? John's horns are specially made prosthetics. John plays a young boy who has a special connection with Moodzilla. He can communicate with Moodzilla using those horns, right, John? Shut up! Stop blabbering about that stupid stuff. Oh, sorry. I think I'm beginning to see the kind of relationship these two have. But it must be amazing to star in a movie. And you're only in elementary school. Yeah, how old is he actually? Is that on his profile or not? 13. I must be out of elementary by then. I guess he looks maybe a bit tiny, but... Despite how he looks, John is 13 years old and he's already in middle school. Yeah. What? But he's so small. Yeah, yeah. And he's wearing a kitty backpack. The backpack is a part of his costume. He's an actor after all. I see, but he's still really tiny. Yeah, that's what I said. It's probably better if you didn't talk about his height in front of... I thought I told you to stop blabbering about stupid stuff. Yeah. Sorry. It seems the only thing that's not a prop is that milk carton. That guy over there. He's the president, right? Yup. Do you know him? Yeah, I've met him before. This boy has met with the president? That guy makes me sick. That's not a very nice thing to say. Why do you hate the president so much? And now he's giving me the silent treatment. The truth is, the president was involved in the film. The president was involved in the film? What do you mean? He was supposed to have a brief cameo in the movie. Ah. Okay. I did not know that. He came by to look around the set some time ago. That was when he met with John, drinking his milk to try and grow bigger. Still such a cute thing. Actually, I didn't connect the two things, but you're probably right. Yeah, maybe he wants to grow up. And that would be why. Why would the president be appearing in this film? Maybe he's complex because he's too tiny. We heard he was a fan of the original Moodzilla series. I can relate actually because I was kinda tiny when I was that age. And so we made him an offer. We thought it would make great publicity, you see. He comes on the movie set like he's on some sightseeing tour. It's so annoying. John, you really shouldn't say stuff like that. It's not nice. Shut it! I guess he couldn't tolerate having an amateur appear in his film. Oh, right. Here. What's this? Ah, what's this from yesterday? A photo. Yeah, since it was developed, I brought it along with me. You can have it. I think it turned out quite nicely. So you brought it all the way here for me. Thank you so much. No, not really. I just happened to have it with me. Excuse me, but may I take a quick look at it? Oh, sure. Here you go. He downed the milk whenever someone comments on his age or looks. Yeah, I didn't really notice. So this was taken yesterday. Neither the hoof prints nor the body are in it. Commemorative photo data jotted down in my organizer. Let me have a look at that picture in closer detail. The body and the monster's footprints are not visible. Neither is the dent in the barrier there in the wall. Hey, I still have that? Wait, is there something I haven't done yet? This leads to the Grand Tower, but from where I'm standing, all I can see are just your everyday run-of-the-mill buildings. There's another cameo of Maya and Phoenix Wright in this one. There they are. I don't see anyone special around here either. I don't see anyone special around here either. No. The main protagonists of the main series games are not anyone special. Indeed, at least from where we're standing, that is. Now then, we have no time to waste. We should get back to investigating the film lot. Okay. Well, that was nice. That was a nice cameo. It's one of those sheets you lay out on the floor when you're having a picnic. It's definitely a vinyl sheet, however, I don't think it's for picnics. Mr. Edgeworth, if I may, that's actually a waterproof sheet. It's used with the camera crane over there. We'll cover the camera crane with it when it's raining. Then this sheet must be pretty big. Yes, it would be pointless if we didn't cover up the entire crane. The weather was overcast yesterday, so we've been using it quite a bit. Yeah, had they been on the roof at that time, then they might have seen them. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's I didn't inspect the sheet, so my investigation wasn't complete. I was meant to look at the sheet. And with that, this portion of the investigation seems to be finished. So the murder weapon really is... Yes, as it stands now, the possibility that it was the monster head is quite high. So he ended up being squashed by the falling head, huh? What about the stain? Do we have the results from the forensics? So he ended up being squashed by the falling head, huh? Although they're extremely late to the party, the bodyguards and the police have finally arrived. Mr. President! They really were far too late. Damn it, who did this? They'll pay for this. I swear I'll make them pay. But you know, this much is enough to put me at ease. The person who did this to Wong. I've already got my eye on a suspect. What? What do you mean? Even though Wong was the victim, he doesn't have extraterritorial rights here. Your country's police have the right to investigate. However, I've already spoken with them. As an agent of Interpol, they are letting me assist in the investigation. So, they've already established a plan for this investigation. I've already found my prey, now it's time for the hunt. Take a look at this. It's a printout from a security camera on the Grand Tower rooftop. Langshi says, Lang's theme is so good. Yeah, it is actually. Courtney! Is she gonna be the person I have to try to prove innocent? In this one, this camera records people as they get off the rooftop elevator. April 4th, 11:05 p.m. And guess who was recorded? The president and his killer can clearly be seen. But wait. If this was the night before, I guess that wouldn't have been exactly the night that the murder took place. Right. Maybe not. Why is Miss Courtney there? So he's saying Judge Courtney is the murderer? Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall leave this offering to the goddess of law to you. Deliver her divine judgment against the place the best. Could she, who hates crime more than anyone, have... On the Grand Tower rooftop, okay. So they were on the rooftop then. Agent Lang, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Not so fast. Ah yeah, I forgot he says that. Not so fast. Just now, I heard a rumor at the Grand Tower, Miles Edgeworth, that you are no longer a prosecutor. Oops. I would have preferred if he didn't find out about this. Naturally, that means you don't even have a shred of investigative authority. So what would be the point of of his presence there, I guess he meant. Why would you say something like that? Didn't you also just get reduced to being a lone agent? Hey, answer me this. Even though you've lost your position as a prosecutor, why are you still sticking your neck into this case? Why do I still continue to investigate? Agent Lang, why are you pursuing the criminal who murdered the president? Because you're an Interpol agent? Right now, I am also chasing after a certain person. Someone in the shadows who was behind the murder at the Grand Tower yesterday. And also the murder really did take place the day before then. I guess it might be late in the day right there, maybe. I'm not sure. Or is it the morning? It's hard to tell. Someone who placed Kay in grave danger. Even now they are lurking somewhere, laughing at us. We will uncover the truth and bring them to justice. And a title such as Prosecutor has nothing to do with it, as long as the truth remains hidden. I will continue to seek out that truth, for that is a part of my creed. Aha! You're always trying to be so clever, but you really are kind of an idiot. Me an idiot? How rude. That's the answer I wanted to hear. Alright, I'll play along with you for a bit. I've lost all my men and you've lost your title. And yet, we still continue to investigate. Let's begin this battle of logic between two kindred spirits. You have my thanks. However, I won't go easy on you. I'll definitely catch the criminal who murdered Wong. And I won't let you get in my way. Yes, I wouldn't have it any other way. Let me show you the truth that this wolf has sunk his fangs into. Why, Courtney? Listen up. That woman met with the president on top of the Grand Tower. 2 nights ago, she pushed the president off the roof, and he fell onto this film lot. 2 nights ago, he says then. At the time, there was no one else on the rooftop aside from those two. There's no room for doubt. That woman murdered the president. It was just the 2 of them alone on the rooftop. No bodyguards? Yeah, I confirmed it with those bodyguards over there. They didn't know about it either. Guess he managed to give them the slip. He must have had something secret to talk about. President Wong and Judge Courtney. Did those 2 have some sort of connection? Apparently he had an arrangement with the owner of the Grand Tower. He requested the entrance to the viewing platform be restricted so that they could be alone. Well, it's not like the owner could turn down a request from the president. Does that mean the last person to see the president was... Exactly. Courtney, you mean. It's gotta be her. Agent Lang's reasoning is certainly sound. However, he has overlooked one major thing. And that's where I must strike. Listen up. That woman met with the president on top of the Grand Tower. 2 nights ago, she pushed the president off the roof, and he fell onto this film lot. 2 nights ago, you say? But on the photo taken the day before, the body is not found there. Shilong Lang. For the Interpol agent with the highest arrest rate to have fallen so low. What you say? This is a commemorative photo taken by the staff at Global Studios. Everyone's got such great smiles. Well, except for John. This photo was taken yesterday. What? If Judge Courtney had murdered the president 2 days ago, then his body should have been there with this photo when this photo was taken. Ow! Heh. Perhaps you should have listened a bit more carefully to those involved in the case. Questioning witnesses is one of the basic fundamentals of an investigation, is it not? I've captured Mr. Edgeworth's great smile. You really do look most alive when you're cornering your opponent. Grr, just as I expected. It's been a while since I felt like this. Agent Lang, haven't you been a little hasty in your reasoning? I don't need your advice. Langshi says. What does he say? The wrath of a wolf lasts 100 years. My anger towards the woman who killed the president cannot be suppressed. I too wish to capture the culprit, however, there is no doubt that the body appeared here last night. Therefore, the president could not have fallen to his death. Yeah, he was crushed by the monster head. The crime occurred here at the film lot, not on the rooftop on the Grand Tower. So that's what you think. Still, I don't intend to stray from my logic either. However, he could not have fallen to his death 2 nights ago. This photo proves that. Is that so? Think about it this way. 2 nights ago, Courtney pushed the president off the roof and killed him. Afterwards, she snuck into the film lot to hide the body. In here, wouldn't it be easy to hide a body in a costume or behind all this equipment? Then all she had to do last night was retrieve the body. Once we search this area, we'll know where she hid the body. Unfortunately, there is no need for a search. What did you say? This piece of evidence proves that Judge Courtney could not have hidden the body. Or the lock, maybe. Because she was not part of the film, so she could not have opened it.
Take that.
All the entrances to the film lot were locked. The chain on the back entrance was only cut last night. Ah, yeah, that's true. What? Therefore, Judge Courtney could not have entered the film lot 2 nights ago. Ah-ya! But the president could only have fallen 2 nights ago. Why are you so insistent that the crime occurred 2 days ago? Well, don't we have a coroner's report on that? That could tell us when exactly he died, what's the cause of the death, and what that yellow stain on his clothes is. Because there's still more to the security camera footage. White Courtney Part 2. A photo was recorded 10 to 20 minutes after the president went up to the roof with that woman. That woman, she came back down on the elevator alone. After that, there was no sign of the president getting on the elevator at all. There's no other way for the president to get down without using the elevator, is there? Yes, there is. Besides getting pushed off the roof by that woman, that is. The president never came down from the rooftop? That's right, the security camera is always watching the entrance of the elevator. It was specifically set up to record anyone who entered or exited the rooftop. Essentially, the camera created the locked room, one with which the president vanished from. Yeah, but there's that trap door that was in the previous case, so that's also a possibility. But I don't think I can prove that yet, though. This is quite an unfavorable piece of evidence for Judge Courtney. Or do I have something like that? What, this? There is a secret entrance to the 51st floor on the roof. Ah, okay, well, there we go. So I'm probably gonna have to present that one. When he says, there isn't any other way down from the tower. So even the Yatakarasu can't just fly through the sky. That's right. I still need more training to be able to pull that off. Are you saying you're going to train yourself to fly? White Courtney Part 2. Yeah. It's here, I think. Yeah, there's no other way for the president to get down without using the elevator. Yes, there is. It's natural that he wouldn't know about it because he had nothing to do with the previous case, but we know about it. As a matter of fact, there was one, a hidden route that is. A way down without using the elevator? You'd better not tell me you flew off or something. There's no need for that. It's quite simple. The president just needed to know about the existence of the hidden 51st floor. The 51st floor. This building has a hidden 51st floor. It is accessible through a secret hatch on the rooftop. Using that route, it would be possible to leave the rooftop without using the elevator. Hidden room, secret hatch. How could the president have even known about that? He would have known if he was at the secret black market auction. I wonder. I don't know the answer myself. I am merely raising the possibility. In the first place, what's this all about? This hidden 51st floor? Sounds like something that Ninja Girl over there would love to get into. Actually, the Mozilla doll was in the storehouse on the 51st floor, and it belonged to the president before that. So, did the president bring it there, or something? Or did it find its way there through the police, and he came to buy it back? Maybe. Sounds like something that Ninja Girl over there would love to get into. No way, I'm sick of that place. For Kay, that place only holds bad memories after all. The 51st floor was a secret storeroom from the black market auction. Its true purpose was only exposed yesterday. Weren't you investigating the ring of art smugglers or something like that? That had something to do with Zangfa as well, actually. You aren't suggesting the president was involved in something like that, are you? I have no proof, however the possibility exists, does it not? He had something to do with it if the doll was there, because it's his doll. I wouldn't put it past that president. Ow! Ow, I guess. Impossible, the president would never. He would never be involved in the black market auction. Well, it did have something to do with it. What's this? You punks, are you prepared? If you're gonna spout nonsense like that, I'll tear you to pieces. She ran away. You don't have any idea the amount of respect that man has earned from his country's people. And yet, he wanted to fake an attempted assassination on his person. We have seen the president's true colors. However, the people of Zengfa remain in the dark. Should I inform Agent Lang of the president's true nature? No, telling him now would only further cloud his judgment. I understand, Agent Lang. Please calm down. We spoke out of line. I apologize. Sorry, my emotions got the best of me. And Kay, how long do you plan on hiding? You can come out now. I'm sorry. It's fine. My anger is directed towards the president's killer. Well, I'll be. You're actually a pretty good guy, ain't ya? That loyalty to your president, it's mighty admirable. Hey, what's it to you? Oh, don't be like that. I've got some good news for you, I reckon. The president ain't never passed through the 51st floor. You can count on me. Really. I was in the storeroom myself and I saw it with my very own eyes. But you were unconscious during part of the time you spent there. That's right, she snuck into the storeroom that day. Loda's testimony jotted down in my organizer, yeah. Okay. Maybe they make it out to be a fact, and you don't have to think about whether she was asleep or not. Thanks. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. What is it? I don't intend to give the culprit a single step of leeway. No one's seen the president since he met with Courtney 2 days ago. That doesn't change the fact that the body wasn't here yesterday. If he were pushed off 2 days ago, it would be odd that he wasn't found until yesterday. I doubt a fall from the roof would take a whole day. I'll admit there are a few things I still haven't figured out. Regardless, there is one thing I am certain of. What exactly occurred here last night? I'm certain we'll have to look into that in order to uncover the truth. Because the body and the hoof prints could have only appeared last night, right? Agent Lang would like to bring the body in for the autopsy. Wong, it's in your hands. Make sure you show the proper respect. I also have one more thing to report. What is it? We found some footprints near the body. They were left within the area that looks like a monster's hoofprint. There were human footprints within the monster's footprint. Well, yeah, that's not that odd. What kind of footprints? Sir, they were the footprints of a child about the size of an elementary school student. What? Huh? An elementary school student? Wait, could it be? Who was that? Miss Nichols? I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please excuse my rudeness. Is there something you want to say? What is she so scared of? I'm worried that you'll think poorly of me, but please let me testify something. It's really important. That's not something you need to be so worried about. What is it? Last night, I actually came here. What? Eek! Why did you come here? Well, I got a little worried, so I stopped by to check up on John. John? You mean John Marsh? As I thought. Yes, last night, John stayed here late in order to practice by himself. Wow, he's really dedicated. Well, this movie is the first time he's starring as the lead role, so I'm sure he wants to do his best. She must have witnessed something last night. When was this? If I remember correctly, I think it was a little past 10 p.m. It looked like it was going to rain, and I was getting worried, so I came to check up on him. And when I got here, well, you saw something? Yes, John was practicing by himself. And right above his head, I saw a long neck. A neck? Yes, its skin was really scaly, almost like a reptile. Gordy? It was like the neck of a dinosaur. What there? Could that have been? Gordy! She'd know a thing or two about it since when she first appeared in the series, she was trying to catch pictures of Gordy. Last time I went hunting for it, it was a bust, but I reckon this could be the real deal. What? So this time it's Gordy? That's right. I was really surprised. After all, John is the boy who can communicate with Moodzilla. Yeah, that's right. Them horns of his lets him hear what the monster is saying, right? Even so, he was looking up at Gordy's face, and he was talking to it. Nah, that's the camera crane covered by the sheets, you can tell. It was like they were friends. Doesn't that sound weird? You said it, sister. That's pretty darn strange, I reckon. That boy's a little traitor. It seems she's gotten reality mixed up with the movies. Hey, Missy, did you really see that? Yes, but I was so shocked I immediately ran home after that. What do you make of this, Mr. Prosecutor? Has another monster taken the stage? Nah. Do you really believe this absurd testimony? I couldn't care less about the monsters. However, it looks like who we need to talk to next has been decided now, hasn't it? John Marsh, he was here last night. It's very likely he saw something, isn't it? Attaboy. John Marsh, we've got some questions for you. He's not there. John kind of left a while ago. What? Let's go after him. Where did he run off to? He might have just gone back home. That's right. I mean, it doesn't look like they're going to get any filming done today. Or he may have run away. Aren't you just overthinking things? He's still a child. I can't imagine that he could have murdered the president by himself. Who said he was alone? Maybe that monster helped him. That boy can summon a monster to his aid, right? Very funny. I'm not saying that kid's definitely the culprit, but right now, he's the most prominent witness we have, so we'll need to find that brat. Hey, Scruffy! Gummy! Oh, he runs away. What is the detective doing? It doesn't matter. It's not like I can rely on this country's police anyway. Agent Lang, do you intend to continue investigating by yourself? Yeah, that's right. You got a problem with that? Didn't you always have a small army of subordinates with you before? That's right, but, you know, being a lone wolf isn't all that bad. You don't have to worry about your subordinates or partners. All you need are your fangs. Simple, right? Subordinates and partners. Well then, I'll be seeing you too. Things are getting interesting. I reckon I'm about to get real busy myself. After all, I got me a pair of monsters to hunt. I'm definitely getting my hands on this coup. And there she runs with that hilarious animation again. Things have gotten pretty crazy, haven't they? Indeed, there's the footprints of Moodzilla and now the shadow of Gordy. It's almost exactly like the movie. How about we go monster hunting too? Well, isn't that... Isn't that one of Lang's men? He's one of Agent Lang's subordinates. We met him during another case. Did we? Excuse me, MIB, Man in Black. Oh, Prosecutor Edgeworth, it has been a while. Shouldn't you be following Mr. Lang? Agent Lang, Shifu, is no longer my boss. What exactly happened? Do you remember the incident from 1 month ago? The Yatagarasu incident we had been involved with. Agent Lang made a major mistake back then. He almost aided and abetted a dangerous criminal. Certainly, it had come quite close to that at the time. Shifu took responsibility for what happened, and our team was disbanded. Disbanded? So that's what Agent Lang was talking about when he said he had become a lone wolf. Well, the person he was working with had something to do with it or something? Is, the person directly under him in the hierarchy or something like that? A woman? I can't quite recall her name now. Then why are you here? That's... well... I was a little worried about Shifu. It seems that even now is still chasing after them. The ghosts of 12 years past. Ghosts of 12 years past? Just what are you... I'm sorry, I've already said too much. If you'll excuse me. These ghosts Agent Lang is chasing after. Do they also have something to do with this case? Looks like everyone's left now. So what do we do now? Well, Miss Hart is going after the monsters and Agent Lang is going after John. We should also try approaching this case from a different angle. Courtney? What angle would that be? We should listen to what Judge Courtney has to say. Yeah, there we go. That's right. If I'm not mistaken, Miss Courtney is... Where is she? Well, then I shall take my leave here. I will be presiding over Patricia Rowland's trial. Okay. She said that she had a trial coming up. Indeed. Let's head to the courthouse as well. Okay. Okay. Done with the first chapter. It was kinda long. Ugh. April 6, District Court, courtroom number 3. Court is now in session. Is the defense ready? Of course, Your Honor. We can begin whenever you want. The prosecution has been ready from the start, Your Honor. Isn't it usually the other way around? Where they are? I mean, I thought it was the defense attorneys on the other side. Well, vice versa, I feel like. Jill Crane, the attorney in charge of the defense, has passed on from this world. Furthermore, Sebastian the Best, the prosecutor in charge, has disappeared. And so Francisca and Mr. Shields have taken over their duties. Before we begin, I would like to apologize for the delay of today's trial. As the crime took place in the prison, a place where justice is normally administered, and the defendant was the warden of the prison, further exacerbating the situation. Additional time was specially arranged to investigate and prepare for the trial. In addition, the defense attorney in charge of the case, Jill Crane, has recently passed away. Yeah, the woman who had been a part of the old Yatakarasu, she was, I think, a defense attorney. Was she? I can't quite recall what her role was. I thought she was in the in Interpol also. A woman with a short white hair, as I recall, but her name I can't recall right now. Mr. Shields, Ms. Von Karma, at this time I'd like to give you my gratitude for taking up this responsibility on short notice. I guess this is the last job Courtney Pie's friend left behind for us, huh? Well, Uncle Ray is more than happy to help out, although having said that, I only had enough time to skim through the case files. Are you okay on your end, Franny Pie? Franny Pie. What kind of prosecutor abandons his own case and vanishes without a trace? I won't allow any more delays in this trial while we wait for that foolish man to return. I have received the evidence just now. Callisto Yu as a defense attorney, and Sheena as Lang's assistant. Yeah, it's Sheena that I had in mind, yeah. I had forgotten about Callisto Yu, actually. You have my thanks. And with that, I hereby call the defendant, Patricia Rowland, to the stand. But yeah, it's Sheena I had in mind. There she is again. Now then, will the prosecution please give us their opening statement? Very well, Your Honor. Please, wait, Your Honor. What is it? Well, there's something I'd like you to fill me in on. Just what exactly am I doing in a place like this? Then perhaps you would do well to listen to the opening statement. So if I listen to it, I'll get it, huh? Okay, then let's hear it. That was the plan from the start. Now, if you would kindly shut up and listen. The incident occurred in the detention center and the prison warden Rowland is in charge. Yeah, and the prison warden Rowland is in charge of. Yeah, okay. The victim is Oris Knightley, who was being held in the detention center. The prosecution is certain that this woman here is the culprit. This knife, the murder weapon, is the decisive Huh? Miss Von Karma, is something wrong? That's impossible. The evidence is... What's wrong with the evidence, Franny Pie? The evidence... The knife's gone. The chisel with Dogen's bell attached to it is missing too. What? Order! Order! Prosecutor Von Karma, what is the meaning of this? I don't understand it either, Your Honor. If there's no evidence, then I suppose there's not much reason for me to be here. Some prosecutor can't even hold on to one little piece of evidence. What a dunce. I only received everything that the previous prosecutor had. Ah! It appears the culprit is that pampered prosecutor, the boy Blunder. Hey, Courtney Pie, what is it? Your Honor, considering our predicament, what say we postpone the trial until later? The defense's proposal is overruled. Hey, Courtney Pie? I know, right? It'd be troubling for me if this trial were to be delayed any further. I just want everyone to know that I'm innocent, as soon as possible. Innocent? I've had more than enough of your foolish... And besides, you don't have any evidence, right? I recall a certain saying. In court, evidence is everything, wasn't it? Since there's no evidence, that would make me innocent. Isn't that right, Your Honor? That is correct. Eh? What? The prosecution has not produced sufficient evidence to prove the defendant guilty. As such, I hereby find the defendant, Patricia Rowland...
Objection.
Hold your horses, Courtney Pie. You can't just declare her innocent all of a sudden. It's good for you. What are you complaining about? Is something the matter for the defense to object to a not guilty verdict? Well, I mean, even you must know that the warden over there is guilty, right? You were there with us when we found the murder weapon. What kind of defense attorney are you? I mean, I know she's guilty and that she deserves to go to her own prison, but still... Mr. Shields, a judge must remain impartial when handing down a verdict. That is why I cannot allow myself... They have multiple witnesses who saw her confess, but I guess evidence is all that matters. Yeah, I do wonder about that. Yeah, that is why I cannot allow myself to get caught up in my own personal feelings. The person who was present when the murder weapon was discovered and the judge sitting before you now are two completely different people. You're kidding, right? I can only hand down a verdict based upon the evidence that was presented. There is evidence, it's just, well, it's not here right now, but a few minutes, that's all I need. I'll find the evidence and return to court without fail. The prosecution requests a brief recess, Your Honor. The defense would also like a recess, Your Honor. Courtney Pie, please. You can do that much. I understand. I shall grant your request. Well, Justine darling, aren't you wishy-washy today? This court will now adjourn for a 15-minute recess, which should probably not be enough, during which the prosecution and the defense shall prepare for the resumption of the trial. Understood, Your Honor. Phew, that was a close one. Court is now adjourned. District Court, 3rd floor lobby. Didn't we find it together? The evidence. Yes, we certainly did. Huh? What's the matter, detective? It looks like the metal detector is reacting to this alligator. Really? Why? Of course, that's why the metal detector reacted. Judge Courtney, I'd like you to take a look at this. The chisel. Wasn't that just a fake murder weapon? Dogan hid this chisel inside his dog's mouth, and the real murder weapon was hidden in very much the same way. The real murder weapon is in the pond inside the alligator. I wonder if it was stolen by someone. Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Berry and Mr. Keys, did you come to attend the trial? I came because I heard there's a really fun show around here, so where is it? A fun show. The trial for the case I got caught up in was supposed to have already started, but our practice ran a little late. I believe it was somewhere around here, wasn't it? Actually, 2 key pieces of evidence have gone missing. The chisel and the knife. The trial is in recess now. Sort of like an intermission. You just missed it, Simon. What? What's that supposed to mean? Haha, looks like Simon's going to get arrested again. Eek, no way, no way, no way, I can't. I guess Simon is his usual noisy self. Huh? To think that I would be humiliated like this. Francisca. And here comes another noisy individual. Now, Franny Pie, let's just take a moment to calm down a bit. Maybe you could put that whip of yours away, What you say? That foolish prosecutor when I get my hands on him. My whip is going to give him the thrashing of a lifetime. Eek. Miles, why don't you try talking to her? Yada yada. On that note, I guess I should probably hear what she has to say. Is there a point to talk to anyone else? Oh, if it isn't former Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Those who have abandoned the path of a prosecutor do not belong here. Now, be a good boy and go home. Figure out what you want to do with your life. Still, what are you going to do, Francisca? The recess is only 15 minutes. You're always so calm and collected, like an anchorman reading off a teleprompter. It makes me sick. I should probably stay classy and avoid a confrontation with her for now. Francisca, I never expected you to end up taking over the prosecution for this case. The bodyguard of the president of Zengfa, Horace Knightley, was murdered. The defendant is the former warden of the prison, Patricia Rowland. The knife she used as the murder weapon had been prepared as evidence. However, the murder weapon has disappeared without a trace. Not only did he abandon his own case, but he also made me look like a fool in court. Next time I see that foolish fool of a prosecutor, I'll whip some backbone into him. I don't mind if you whip some backbone into him, but stop whipping innocent bystanders. Okay, let's talk to him, I guess, because he's related to the case as well. Okay, looks like you've gotten your memories back. Yeah, I'm all better now. If we're gonna investigate both cases at the same time, this one might be a long one. I don't even know if I will be done tomorrow, to be honest. Because it's not moving very fast. Uncle Ray was really worried, you know? Though that other K was also pretty cute. Well then, now that you've recovered, how about a hug for old time's sake? Nope! We need to focus on the trial right now. Yeah, things aren't looking good. The trial. At any rate, we'll have to search for the evidence, but we can't interrupt the trial. Uncle Ray is in a pickle. If only there was someone who could find the evidence for us. That look of expectation on your face says it all. Excuse me? Okay. Miles, you still don't have your prosecutor's badge, right? Do you finally feel like following in your father's footsteps? I simply left it in someone else's care. I wasn't stripped of my badge. I don't remember it being as long as a third case, but still long, so yeah. No, not today, and probably not tomorrow either, is what I meant. So I might not necessarily be done with the game tomorrow like I initially thought. I mean, I said that because of the fact that they seem to be investigating both the Patricia Rowland case and the assassination of the president at the same time. And the one with Gregory Edgeworth from before, that was quite a long one too. Furthermore, right now I am unable to follow in my father's footsteps. I see. Well, there is no need to rush your decision. Take all the time you need to determine the path you want to follow. In any case, the door is always open for you at the Edgeworth Law offices. Mr. Shields. If only there was someone who could go search for the evidence for us. Yeah, while you were talking, part of those 15 minutes have already elapsed, I should say. Very well, I'll go look for them. Oh, Miles, you'd do that for us? Of course, finding the evidence within 15 minutes will be no easy task. Well, if worse comes to worst, Uncle Ray and Franny Pie will help you to stall for time. Until you recover the evidence, we won't let her hand down a verdict. Please do so. Francisca, are you okay with this? You're asking me, Francisca von Karma, to help you out. You'd be better off spending the rest of your life as an anchorman for the local news. Miss von Karma, this is an emergency. We could really use your cooperation. I understand. As acting prosecutor, I, along with that attorney over there, shall continue this trial. Meanwhile, you, the former prosecutor, shall run around and look for the evidence. Oh, for my sake, it's a job that suits you perfectly. I'm glad that you're on board. I'll help out too, because I really don't want to get arrested again. This sounds like fun. Regina wants to tag along too. Alright, that would be helpful. Now then, where should we begin? I think we should go find that person and hear what they have to say. Sebastian the Best? Ah, there he is.
Take that!
Yeah, I'm still gonna stream for 2 hours roughly today, and tomorrow I'll be streaming like today, like 4 to 5 hours in total. So I don't know. I really don't know if I'll be done. Yes, the person in charge of the evidence was Sebastian the Best. Oh, you mean that rookie prosecutor, right? Got it. I'll leave him to you. Alrighty, time for Uncle Ray to have a strategy meeting with the opposing counsel. Just the two of... Miles Edgeworth, you better not keep me waiting, lest you end up like your friend here. Yes, I'll keep that in mind. Franny Pie, wait for me! Now then, let's go help look for Sebastian as well. Ah, Courtney Pie. Ah, Judge Courtney. If it isn't Prosecutor Edgeworth, I hope that all is well. All is not well, just what was going on in that trial earlier. Kate, there's no need for that. But, even though Miss Courtney should know exactly who the culprit is, what made you... In a court of law, the only thing that truly matters is evidence. Whatever my own feelings may be, it should not affect the verdict. So is this the judge persona of Judge Justine Courtney we're seeing? Maybe, I don't know. Cold-blooded and heartless. It's fine if you think of me as such. Even as a judge, she's still this stubborn. Judge Courtney, there's just one thing I'd like to ask you, and what would that be? 2 nights ago, you went to the roof of the Grand Tower. The roof, you say? You met with the president there, correct? The two of you were caught on the security camera. Is there some sort of problem with that? Today, the president's body was discovered, very close to the Grand Tower. As she didn't know, obviously. That's... You understand now, don't you? You're a suspect. What happened between you and the president up on the roof? Nothing. We merely spoke for a few minutes. Once our business was done, I headed straight home. I took the elevator back down alone. Indeed, that was shown on the security camera footage as well. What exactly did you and the president talk about? That I cannot say. I see. However, I cannot afford to let up just yet. That being the case, I guess my only remaining option is to use that. She is definitely hiding something, and I'm going to draw it out of her. Chess logic. Or logic chess, more like. 2 nights ago, Judge Courtney met with President Wong. There's a lot of them. It is true that I spoke with President Wong on the roof of the Grand Tower. However, we only discussed business. There is no need to tell you what was said. Just like in the trial earlier, she won't reveal her personal feelings easily. When she's speaking as a judge, it would be better for me to wait and see what develops. Now then, I'll start by asking her what she talked about with the president. Begin logic chess. Could you tell me what you and the president talked about? Okay, you said wait and see when she's acting like a judge. When she brings out her gavel like this, I guess. My meeting with the president was strictly business, and since it has nothing to do with you, I am not obligated to answer your question. Wait and see. I appreciate your understanding. Even so, you certainly are a very busy person, aren't you? You're a member of the PIC and a judge as well. You even assist with the investigations. I am simply fulfilling the professional duties that have been assigned to me. Was your meeting with the president also one of the duties assigned to you as a judge? Yes, of course it was. I am one who lives for the law. I would never act outside my professional duties. This morning you returned case promise notebook to me. I don't believe that all of your actions are simply done for the sake of your duties. It's true. It seems I still retain some immature qualities. I wouldn't call it immature, it was your own personal kindness. Weren't you also distressed when you found out the president had passed away? Yes, it is very unfortunate. Why did he have to die? It seems he was crushed by the head of a monster called the Mighty Mozilla. Excuse me, you see, Mozilla is that true? You mean, the president died at the temporary Mozilla film lot? Is she a fan? It would be funny if she would be, because it doesn't go with her character at all. That's right, I'm surprised that you know about Mozilla. Yes. I had heard about it from Sebastian. Okay, well, if that's all there is to it. He told me that the movie was being filmed near the Grand Tower. She seems awfully shaken up about that, and I'm also curious about Sebastian, who went missing along with the evidence. She said she wouldn't talk about the president. However, I might be able to get her to reveal her secret through another line of questioning. Pardon me. She's flustered beyond normal. There must be some reason behind it. Where is Prosecutor the Best? Francisca may have taken over the prosecution in Sebastian's place. However, as long as he still possesses some of the evidence, the trial cannot proceed. I intend to carry out a fair trial. If the prosecution is unable to present evidence, the defendant must be declared not guilty. She's in her judge form. I am a judge. I cannot allow my own personal feelings to get in the way. So, you're saying you're not the least bit worried about Sebastian's whereabouts? Of course, I am. I am worried about Sebastian as well, but... Are you worried about anyone else? You're worried about Sebastian as well. Wouldn't that mean that there is someone else you're worried about? By any chance, would that person have something to do with your unnatural behavior? That's impossible. I am a follower of the law. I will not be swayed by personal feelings. As a judge, you're only human. It may be true that those who stand in court have a duty to follow the law. However, we're not superheroes. You and I are only human. It is impossible to completely ignore your own feelings and render an impartial judgment. Sorry. It is as you say. As I am now, I cannot hand down an impartial verdict. Judge Courtney, why don't you tell me the truth? Just what am I supposed to do? Oh, we haven't seen that expression on her face yet. For Judge Courtney to become this distraught. Yeah, we hadn't seen that yet. I should find out exactly who she is searching for. Sebastian, maybe? Up until now, she has been wearing the mask of a judge. This time, I should be able to draw out her true feelings. Yeah, are you searching for Prosecutor the Best? Is the person you're searching for Sebastian by any chance? When Sebastian learned of his father's true colors, he went into hiding of his own free will. I am worried about him. But this may be a trial he needs to overcome on his own. Wait and see. Since he went into hiding of his own accord, he could return whenever he wanted to. Could it be the person you're searching for is unable to return under their own power? In regards to that, my lips are sealed. I am unable to talk about it right now. When I think about what might happen to that child if I talked. Who is that child you speak of? Sebastian is hardly a child anymore. Could you tell me what you are referring to? It's nothing. Please pay it no mind. Judge Courtney's expression has changed. It seems I've managed to uncover a clue. Hold on. Me save. That's a joke, right? Are you searching for the mighty Mozilla? I don't have the time to play along with your jokes right now. It's not a joke, just a moment ago. You were surprised to learn that the president had been crushed by Mozilla, correct? I was simply surprised by the president's cause of death. To think that he passed away at the temporary film lot of all places. What's wrong with where he died? From the way you're talking, it seems you have a problem with where he died. That's not true. It's just for the president to have passed away at a film lot, a place where dreams are made. I just thought it would be better if the movie's cast and crew remained unaware of the truth. A staff member found the body. I'm very sorry to say this. However, the movie's cast and crew are already aware of the president's death. I encountered a female staff member and John March at the crime scene. No, how could it have come to this? She seems to react strongly when it comes to the staff of the Mozilla film. This could be a useful clue. A kid. Is she related to John March? Who are you searching for? Judge Courtney, tell me who you are searching for. My lips are sealed. That is not something I can talk about right now. Let me try using that clue. Could it be that missing child? Yeah, you're searching for that child who had gone missing? Hold on, cuz. Itchy nose. Since you said it was a child, I presume they're of a young age, correct? I simply cannot answer any questions about him. That boy has nothing to do with you or the president's assassination. Let me try using that clue. Earlier, when Mozilla was brought up, it seemed to be a sensitive topic for you. Is that child you spoke of involved with the Mozilla movie? Come on, we already know who it is. Get on with it. How would you know that? You're usually so calm, yet you seem rather distraught right now. Please, tell me, who is that child? I understand. If you've come to know this much, I shall prepare myself for the worst. The child I'm searching for is a boy by the name of John March. John, why do you want to know his whereabouts? Well, that much I simply cannot say. Judge Courtney, didn't you say you were prepared for the worst? Even if you don't intend to talk, I am determined to expose the truth. That is my resolve. Why is she searching for John? I must get her to tell me the reason. It's perhaps too early to simply ask where is he right now. That might be the final thing. Could it be that you're a fan of John Marsh? Yes. Yes. That's right. I am a fan of John March, the famous child actor who has been called a prodigy. She's in her judge stance, so I suppose I have to wait. I knew his movie was being filmed in front of the Grand Tower, so the temporary film lot had been on my mind. I see. I suppose a fan would be curious about that. Did you know that John was at the temporary film lot? Yes, of course I did. He said they would be filming there all day today, and yet hear that from him? You sound like a stalker. Yeah, she seemed well informed. Oh, it almost sounds as if John himself told you personally. Are they related? I doubt he would give his schedule to a mere fan. That's true, isn't it? Please, don't pay any mind to that statement. She made another slip of the tongue. She must be really worried about John, so she has spoken with John. This could be a useful clue. Are you acquainted with him? Are you acquainted with John by any chance? He is a famous movie star. I doubt there is anyone who doesn't know who he is. I hadn't heard of him until I met with him today. That just proves you have much to learn. Allow me to give you a lesson. I know everything about him. Wait and see. She's in her judge stance. My apologies. I seem to have lost my composure. You tend to lose your calm whenever the conversation turns to John, don't you? In any case, while I may know everything about John, it is a one-sided relationship. Let me try using that clue. I understand you're worried about him, but aren't you a bit too flustered? You told me earlier that you had spoken with John. Doesn't that prove that you are indeed acquainted with him? How could I have committed such an indiscretion? It appears that John and Judge Courtney are acquaintances. This could be a vital clue. Where is he right now? Actually, we are searching for John as well. Would you happen to have any idea where he might be? Why would you think that I would know where he is? John and I, there is no connection between us. Let me try using that clue. I don't know what kind of relationship you have with John, but at the very least, the two of you must be acquaintances. Eek! Judge Courtney, won't you allow us to help you in your search for him? Help? No, that won't be allowed. We won't. Who won't allow it? The so-called goddess of law? The person who knows where that child is. Paparazzi? Kidnapper? Kidnapper? Shelly the Killer, maybe. Because he's not above that. He's done it in the past, so, with Maya. I see. I finally connected all the pieces of the puzzle. The reason why you cannot easily talk about John, it was because someone kidnapped him. Isn't that right? We're done. Judge Courtney, I would like to hear the truth from your own lips. I understand. This time, I will truly be prepared for the worst. It is just as you deduced. Someone has kidnapped John. Is that why she wanted to end the trial as quickly as possible? As I thought, there was a kidnapping. Still, how is John's kidnapping related to you in any way? John and I are... family? Mother and child, no less. What? I was unable to learn much about the conversation she had with the press.